Hello and welcome back to our Vlandian Night series, and we have just done an Extortion by Deserters quest, and I think I'm probably going to be taking all of it, even though it does give me honor. I think honor is a pretty important trait to increase as much as you possibly can, because it does give you the ability to persuade people much easier. Of course, the persuasion efforts that I've attempted recently have not been that good, but you'll see exactly what happens after this. Okay, so we are not going to be recruiting anyone. We are not going to be recruiting prisoners. We are not going to have an active recruiter or anything like that, because that recruiter continues to run around and things like that. We're also not going to be training troops in the garrison here. We're basically just not going to be doing anything at the moment. We're just going to be leaving the garrison the way it is. It currently has nothing too dramatic. Maybe should I actually try to train some more? I mean, try to recruit some more people. Let's just try to recruit a couple of people here, and we'll see how that goes. But as it stands right now, we have 1 day until the toll collector is done, and that will increase our taxes by another 10%, which of course is going to be pretty good. And otherwise, we should probably make our way on to a nearby town, like, for example, Dunglanis. I would like to be able to participate in the tournament there. Just a very, very quick, easy tournament. And what is... see, now, this is what I mean. What is that? My main party... Look at this. 3,500 gold? Is that improved garrisons doing that? I think it might very well be improved garrisons doing that. So I think I might have to do something about that. I think it might be a little too draining on my resources right now, so we're probably going to have to do something about it. So go over there and stop it from doing that. Otherwise, look at this. Oh yeah, this is exactly the reason why I think that scouting is a very important skill to increase, especially on your own character, because it's just so much quicker. It is just so much quicker to do with your own character. Anyway, we're going to be hopefully not having too much diminishing returns when it comes to... yeah, the tournaments are still giving me a somewhat large diminishing return on bets and things. What? What is this guy? He's going crazy. Oh, it's Brand. It's Brand. Okay, yeah, okay, calm down. Calm down, Mr. Brand. You have absolutely murdered everyone. He did such a good job, didn't he? Crazy. All right. Well, we're just going to continue betting. Obviously, the main reason why I would do this is for renown, as well as obviously cash, and potentially getting the armor as well. The armor is very important for us. Come on. Oh, Brand is basically soloing these guys. I don't even need to help him. Look at him. He's absolutely crazy. Look at that. He just killed that guy in one hit. Well, he's dead now, obviously. But still, that's a pretty important pretty important little detail, that he's literally able to solo pretty much anyone. It seems like me and Brand are going to be facing off in the final round, which is definitely not going to work out too well for me. Oh dear. Come on, Brand. I hope that you'll be able to achieve victory against that. Oh dear. Oh, I headshot him, but there's not enough. Oh, there we go. Okay. Whew. I was a bit worried there for a second. Okay, let me just wait and see whether he's gonna... There we go. I'm gonna have to move. Oh, never mind. He literally does no damage. I think Varmond is not particularly good with bows, so that's the reason why he did a very small amount of damage. That's good for me. That's good for me. I'm happy with that. Anyway, it is going to be me and Brand fighting for the crown in this tournament, and we'll see if I can maybe... Oh, there we go. He's attacking from the left, but maybe... Oh, that was... Okay. Oh, no. Oh, okay. Whew. Okay, that was a little bit too close for my liking. A little bit too close, but there you go. We did gain 3,400, which is pretty good. And we also get that armored bear skin. The armored bear skin is always nice because it is a cape. And usually capes are quite hard to find, or at least I think so. And we're just going to be letting our guys just basically choose whatever they want to choose, and then they can upgrade their stuff however they like. Now, what I would like to do is maybe buy another spear or polearm of some kind for Mr. Bruce here. It might be quite nice. Like, for example... Oh, this is pretty awful, isn't it? Yeah, that is... it's not exactly good, is it? What about the scythe? Should I literally use a scythe? Surely not. I mean, it has 59 piercing damage, which I think is actually hilarious. It might very well be amazing. Should I? I'm literally going to buy one just because it's only 222 and it's going to be kind of fun to see what happens with it. Let's go into the smithy now and just do a little bit of smelting. And there we go. And this is going to be super easy to do. We're also going to get a couple of new parts as well, so that's always nice, isn't it? That is always nice. And now, because Thorgood actually has 114 smithing skill, I'm actually just going to take a quick look at who else has a decent amount of smithing skill. I think Varmund does. Yeah, Varmund does. So we're going to take him and use him for the refining for the moment, because that's going to give him some smithing skill. It's going to get him some additional skill points and so on and so forth. And there you go. He's now at 53 smithing, which is really nice as well. Okay, so did I level up at all there? My charm skill actually increased a little bit more, but otherwise that is it. Okay, so let us go back to Nevyank's castle, and I will see if I can maybe stop my improved garrisons from draining my money any further than it already has. I actually thought that the recruiting would be not that expensive, but apparently it is. We're also going to go and training paths. Yeah, we're going to select all. Yeah, removed all upgrade targets. Okay, yeah, let's just do that because apparently that was indeed an issue. Yeah, no, I'm happy with that. So we're not training anyone anymore. And we're not transferring anyone or anything like that. Okay, yeah. Improved Garrisons has come so far. It used to be a very simple mod that literally just recruited people and indeed trained them up a little bit. And now it does everything. It's actually pretty crazy. Oh, look at this. It's still recruiting. No, don't do that. Okay, well, it's only 870. That's not that big a deal. So, shouldn't be too bad. I forgot to sell my prisoners as well. Should have definitely sold those. Anyway, we do get a lot of loot right there. And all of our people are leveling up their leadership and tactics and all kinds of crazy stuff. So even doing these little looter fights really does make a big difference to all of them and gains them a lot of extra power. And it doesn't really matter what kind of power as long as they're gaining something. There we go. Let's just sell all of that. And now we'll go to the tavern and we'll sell all of our prisoners. I think we'll sell all of them because that will get me a little bit of roguery skill as well as money. And I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, so now, finally, it would probably be a good idea for me to head on to Stygian territory, maybe try and find a couple of lonely vassals that we could potentially teach a bit of a lesson. Ooh, now look at this poor guy. Oh dear, he's in a pretty bad situation right now. He decided to go into a fight against a pretty large looter party, and now we're staring him right down. Oh yes. And as you can see, his army composition is lackluster to say the least. So we're actually just going to take a quick look at him. Yeah, as you can see, he's actually part of Ragnvald's clan itself, so we will definitely be attacking him. No need for us to try to persuade him or anything like that. So, let's see what we can do. What do I have?
Footman!
Ooh, whoa, okay. I have a significant amount of sharpshooters. I don't think that this guy is really going to attack us first, to be honest. I don't think he will, but if he does, that's going to be his death. Oh. He's actually charging in his cavalry immediately? Okay, I guess I'll charge in my cavalry as well to counter his, and we'll see how that goes. At the moment, I think we should be fine. I mean, let's face it, he really doesn't have the most fantastic of unit composition or anything like that. He has a lot of Stygian woodsmen, and if you know anything about the Stygian troop trees, the woodsman is a pretty low tier unit, so nothing really to worry about there. Otherwise, I would like my crossbowmen to actually assist a little bit with that, so I'm actually going to draw my cavalry over here, so if the enemy's cavalry is pursuing them, then they will draw them into our crossbowmen. And hopefully that will deal some good damage. It seems like it is so far. I don't see any enemies, actually. We're playing kind of a commander role in this particular fight. Seems like the enemy is not deciding to do basically anything, so we are going to have to move forward. Ooh, there's a lonely soul. There is a lonely soul on the field, and boom, you are done, sir. You are done. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Actually, you know what? I should have literally gotten out my scythe in that particular situation, because that would have been quite thematic, you know. It would have been like the Grim Reaper is coming to see you and is going to reap your soul, and so on and so forth. You know, all kinds of other flavor text that you want to see in those kinds of situations. Anyway, we're going to see if I can maybe get a little bit of a flank going on here. I think that would be quite nice. As you can see, he's actually spread out his archers very neatly indeed, and that's exactly what you want to do when you have a huge amount of archers, of course. And, oh yeah, that's actually something also that I neglected to mention in the previous series when we were playing as Botania. Basically what you can do, which I was a little bit unaware of, I thought you could do it, but I never used it before. And basically, it is being able to click and drag your formation out as much as you possibly want it, which is actually pretty crazy. So you could do that with your mouse instead of actually doing it with just with the F keys, and that's pretty cool in my opinion. I actually like it quite a bit. But I don't know whether it's still. I don't know whether it gives you enough customization or enough control over what kind of formation you're getting, because as you could no doubt see, if I do it like this, then obviously, you know, it's so if I do it like so, is it going to spread them out a massive deal? Because obviously if you have a huge amount of archers, you want to try and spread them out as much as possible. So let's see if it actually, yeah, it's still 2 lines though. Don't really want, oh, there we go. Oh, nice, look at that. Oh, that's a crazy formation right there. Can you imagine? Any cavalry wanting to attack right here is just going to get absolutely massacred. Anyway, there you go. It's good to test these things out in practice, just in case you come across a situation where you might need it. And I think I probably will. Again, I'm only gaining 229 gold from this battle. It's a bit strange, to be honest. I think that's a bit strange. But maybe it is just me. I actually don't know whether there is a particular reason why we are not gaining those things, where we're not gaining any more money than that, because I think it's a bit weird, to be honest. Ooh, hello there. Okay, Olek is bearing down on us right now, and we should probably be a bit careful about him. He's going to do a lot of damage if he gets us into combat. But we can just head on to Epicrotia. Maybe we can do a little bit of a raid or something like that, although I don't really want to lose any more mercy, if at all possible, because I think I've already lost quite a bit of mercy, unfortunately, and that is not exactly great, is it? No. We want to try and maximize the amount of persuasion tags that we have in any given conversation, so that we can potentially use those to our advantage whenever trying to persuade someone. But I'm not actually seeing anyone right now, which is actually kind of strange as well. That is actually kind of weird, but they might very well be in a lot of different battles and things. Ooh, hello. Okay, yeah, so they're actually going to be taking Nevyansk Castle. I actually don't mind about that too much, because it gives me about 250. It gives me about 250 per day, which I guess is okay. I think that's a pretty decent amount, but I can't defend against, what, 500 units or something like that. It's just never going to happen. So we're going to just take a quick look at this guy. He does have some pretty decent units, unfortunately, so he might very well be able to defeat us. So I think I'll probably try to avoid him. He is potentially a persuasion target, though, because he is the leader of the Brotherhood. So it would be really good for us to get him into a conversation, but he is going to be very risky to speak to, because if I'm going to fail in terms of my persuasion effort, which is highly likely at this point, then obviously he's going to just murder us, and that's something that we don't really want to have happen. So I'm going to just go in here real quick. This is an absolutely insane sword, and I think I would probably like to wear it myself. No? Apparently my sword does not want to be replaced for some reason. This is a gold engraved arming sword with engraved guard. How is it not better than this? Look at this. I mean, it's got much more length, which is what I'm currently looking for, because we're mostly on horseback. So I'm thinking we're just going to put that there. As you can see, the auto-equip mod says that this is not good. Huh. That's actually kind of intriguing. I'm going to just do this so that that sword can go to someone else. And they'll just give us back the gold engraved sword. I mean, I think it's fine to use, to be honest. Okay. So otherwise, let's sell everything. And we're going to gain a huge amount, as you can see. There you go, 3,800. And we are also going to be going into the smithy and doing a little bit of forging. Yes, a little bit of forging will never hurt anyone. Unless the weapon you create hurts someone, of course. Anyway, let's have a look here. I can make a couple of these. Yeah, I guess this looks pretty good. And maybe we want to... I can make 2 of these then. Yeah, that's not particularly good. What about... Yeah, there we go. Okay, we can make 3 of these. And then maybe we can improve the grip a little bit. Yes. Oh, no, too much. This one. This one seems pretty good. The difficulty has increased dramatically as a result of this, unfortunately. So what I could do is I could lower the size and then customize the difficulty so it can be exactly 114. There you go. So we're maximizing profit, and we're also maximizing potential skill gain as well. So there you go. That's all I could do, unfortunately. I'm very much hoping that that is going to be a good amount. So, oh, wow. It's actually not as good as I anticipated. So yeah, we're going to have to be a little bit more careful about what we do with our smithing. But that's the point. It is a learning process in regards to these kinds of things. Whenever you're smelting something, or indeed even forging something, yes, whenever you're forging something, you definitely need to be a bit careful about that. Ooh, Achios, hello, Achios. And Sturgia has now made peace with us, which is actually rather nice, because I believe they haven't even been able to take my castle. No. They weren't even able to take my castle before we made peace with them. So let's speak to Achios real quick, because I think he could potentially join us for free. I'm not entirely sure about that. So let's have a look. 100% chance. I mean, I can't get over the fact that we're getting 100% chance persuasions right here. It's just so nice. Let's see if I can maybe get him. Put your interests in good of the realm first. Yeah, no, it's a dangerous step. But I might be able to get him? Nope. Okay. Not ever able to get him. Thank you very much. Such a shame. Such a shame. Okay, well, never mind. We were successful at least, but it's not someone that's going to join us for free. Now, what about Urgion? Urgion is indeed... no, wait a minute. He has an army. Never mind. Okay. Yes, he currently has an army, currently running around. Epicrotia and the Northern Empire are currently at war against us. Yes. So I think... Oh, hello. Okay. So I'm thinking we might try to attack this guy or try to persuade him to join us. Okay. So here are the options for me when going into conversation with him. I have to pay him for passage. I think you're the one who ought to surrender, or we'll fight to our last drop of blood. Yeah, it seems like the developers have changed this as well. So, in other words, you're not able to persuade minor factions potentially to join you, and instead they are more of an independent entity, because beforehand, when you would try to persuade them, they would join for free most of the time, and I suppose that might be too powerful. So... Right, well, I gave you a chance. Oh, yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to be attacking him and seeing how we do. This might be a bit problematic, so I'm not entirely sure what to do here. I guess we'll get our infantry down there, and we'll move our archers up here, and we'll see if we can maybe... I'd like to draw the enemy's cavalry into us, if at all possible, so that we can maybe do a little bit of a retaliation attack, or we can do some kind of flank on them, maybe. I think they are going to be attacking us, because they do outnumber us, so it is more than likely that they will be coming over here. And I put my people in shield wall formation. They only have 2 cavalry? No, they have more cavalry than that, but they're just sending 2, and that was a big mistake. As you can quite clearly tell, the Vlandian sharpshooters just tore them apart, which is exactly what we wanted them to do, thank you. And otherwise, they still have 11 cavalry remaining, so it shouldn't be too easy for us. But if the... oh, okay, sharpshooters. Living up to their name right there. Absolutely living up to their name. They are literally killing people from this range. I'm very surprised, actually. Very surprised about that. I think I might try to use my scythe. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's actually cool. It's actually a cool weapon. It might be a little bit too short to adequately use it. But so far, I think we're doing quite nicely. Are we? Are we doing quite nicely? I think we should probably start to do something with our cavalry here. I mean, we're doing all right. I think we're doing okay. But I would like to try and force them to potentially attack us. Oh, nice damage. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's what I like to see. And we're just going to take our cavalry around here a little bit. Just do a little interference, a little bit of harassment here and there. And run into the tree, of course, because that's the obligatory thing that I always have to do. You know, just ignore that. Just ignore it. Nothing to worry about. As long as we don't get shot in the face, that's all that matters. Nice. Take out the saplings. Yeah, now, here's the thing. The Brotherhood does seem to have those units. The arboreals and the saplings and things like that. And I've always felt like they're really good. They're actually seemingly pretty good stat-wise in terms of how effective they are in battle, in comparison to some of the other minor factions, because we know that some of the other minor factions, they generally tend to have pretty much nothing. You know, their stats are mostly athletics, followed by some random skill that doesn't really help them too much. So it's really nice to have a minor faction like the Arboreal Sapling unit tree that actually deals good damage and is capable of being useful in a fight. Although, I'm not entirely sure about their armaments or anything like that. I think their armor is pretty lightweight. So that is probably going to be a thing that will hold them back quite a bit. But you can see here, we're doing fantastically well. It's kind of surprising to me. I actually thought that we would have some difficulties here, but apparently not. Alright, I'm going to get out my scythe because I'd like to try it out. Maybe against these guys. Okay, that did nothing because I just hit him with my horse. Yeah, I think the main problem with the scythe is that it is too short. As you can see, the length is just not good enough. But what I am going to do, actually... Oh, 95 renown, what? 95? That's crazy. We just increased our tier level. We're going to let him go. And, yeah, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in the future with that guy? We're going to take all the prisoners, even though that is going to put us over the limit. But hopefully we are relatively close by. Yes, we are, to a town. And I should be able to head in there as soon as possible and sell all of my prisoners for 4,500. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so what we're going to do is, as I was talking about beforehand, is we're literally going to go and try and make a polearm. So we're going to try and make something that is going to be worthy of Bruce wielding it in a rather splendid fashion. So let's see if I can do that. Of course, I think I might need to do a little bit of refining. So in other words, turning crude iron, wrought iron, and maybe even indeed iron into steel and fine steel. So let's see whether we can do something about that. So this is thrust damage. This is swing. We need something that has swing damage. Ah, that might be good, but it is blunt. Blunt swing damage, which is fine, but I would prefer to have something a little bit different. This would be fantastic. If I could get an Eastern glaive, or if I could get a glaive of some kind, or maybe a Falk's blade or something like that, that would be amazing. Also, War Razor, as you can see, like you know, right there, it's so incredibly good. It is really fantastic. Well, as it stands, I don't actually have anything like that. So what I would need to do is I would need to make this, I suppose. I would need to make this. So let's see what I can do about that. I can make the head larger, but I don't think that really does anything. This just... What does it do? It increases the weapon reach. And reduces everything else, hilariously enough. It reduces swing speed, it reduces cutting damage, and it increases the weight. So I think I'm actually going to go for a pretty small weapon head here. And is there anything else that I can go for? Blunt wings. What does that do? It doesn't... Oh, it increases the length. Ah, that might actually be quite useful. Increasing the length is always useful in these situations, especially considering this is probably going to be something that I will use on horseback more than anything. So I could reduce it, weapon reach. That's the thing. The handling of this thing is really awful at the moment. So I'm not entirely sure. I mean, look at this. The weapon reach of this thing is absolutely insane now. Just look at it. I can literally create something crazy. I wouldn't mind it if it was just a two-handed weapon. Is there a hilt or a handle that makes it only two-handed? Doesn't seem like it. Seems like it does have to be a one-handed / two-handed weapon, which is absolutely fine, I suppose, considering this can also be used as a thrusting weapon. So I'm thinking we'll probably try to go for something that is... I mean, the handling is awful, isn't it? And look at the swing damage. The swing damage is terrible as well. So we're going to need to do something a little bit less. Okay, a little bit less. Oh, this is awful, isn't it? This is pretty bad. Oh, dear. I'm not entirely sure what to do here, because look at this swing cutting damage. It's only 19. If I go for this, which is only 120 weapon reach, then it's going to be 60. But it could very well be that the difficulty is just way too high for me at the moment. I mean, as you can see right here, we do have higher than the current difficulty of the weapons, so it is a bit weird. I guess I'm going to go for this, because it's 188 reach. That seems pretty good to me. And we do have something else here. The steel butt added to it is not really going to help us that much, and it is going to increase the difficulty of it by a pretty significant amount. If I were to reduce this below here, then it would be 168 rather than 188, but the difficulty is significantly more, which is problematic. So... can I reduce the difficulty somehow? No, that doesn't seem to be the case, unfortunately. So, I guess I'll just do this. Boom. Let's see if we get dramatically reduced stats. Yes, we do get dramatically reduced stats. So, what if I do this instead? We're going to have to refine something first, however. So, we will need to do a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this. There we go. That should be enough. And then... oh, actually, it is not enough. We need to get some fine steel. There we go. A little bit more steel. There we are. That is good. And yeah, so I will have to do this instead, which is exactly what I didn't want to do. You know, I didn't want to do that. So that's kind of unfortunate. What is better here? Oh, this is actually good. I like this. Okay, let's go with that. Okay, let's see how it is. How are the stats? Swing speed is terrible, as you can quite clearly tell. Okay, let's call it slashy pole hard. Yes, there we go, slashy pole hard. And that's basically all I could do, unless I wanted to refine more materials and things like that. So we'll see how it is, because it might very well be amazing, or it could be the worst thing that we have seen since unsliced bread. It might happen. Might very well happen. Is this better than what I actually have? I have no idea, to be honest. Okay. Well, yeah, now we could actually just go and smelt these things down as well. Does he have enough energy for that? Yeah, he has more than enough energy for that. So we're just going to do this. We're going to gain some new parts. And there we have it. Okay. So what I would like to do is get into a fight. Yes, let's get into a fight and see if I can maybe... have some fun with my new weapon, although that weapon is, in my opinion, going to be extremely unwieldy and probably very, very difficult to use in a proper situation. The swing speed is just... yes, that is exactly the kind of sound that someone would make when they are having to swing a weapon that has a 19 swing speed. I'm pretty sure it's going to be awful. But we'll see how it goes. I kind of would like to fight a vassal, but I don't seem to be able to find any of them for some reason. So I guess we'll just have to head in deeper to Empire territory. Alright, so it seems like we have come across someone that we might be able to prey upon. As you can see right here, he is potentially going to be kind of good for us to fight. Oh, look at that. He actually had a pretty large amount of confidence going in to fight us. But now look at him. Now he's running. Now he's running away. What are you doing here? What are you doing? I don't even know. I don't know what he's thinking. He was chasing me for a second, and now all of a sudden he's changed his mind. It's crazy. Alright, so let's see how this weapon is. That's actually not bad. I feel like the swing speed is not bad. If I can time it just so, I should be able to get some pretty decent damage out of this thing. Alright, so let me get my infantry into a decent position, and my archers around about here as well. Put them into loose formation. Tell my cavalry to follow me for the moment. Actually, I have 24 cavalry. That's going to be a huge amount. Bear in mind, however, that the Empire is, of course, going to have majority polearm-based infantry, and as a result, cavalry is going to be, well, let's just say not so good, you know, not so good against them. So we should be a little bit cautious about that. And they're actually coming in here quite nicely. I'm just going to keep an eye on things, and yes, look at that. Our sharpshooters are now firing away into their lines, and I will take my cavalry and follow me. Here we go. Yeah, now what I was mostly hoping on is that our sharpshooters were going to eliminate most of the high tier polearm users that they have, and then we will just be able to pretty much just go around them and then go boom, and oh, did you see that damage? I think you did. I think you did see that damage. That's pretty crazy. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing what else it can do. I've got to be I've got to get used to this whole timing thing as well, because the timing of it is very much important. It is super important to time it. Unfortunately, I am not really that good at it at the moment, so we'll see if I can maybe get a little better. Oh, nice damage. Look at that. That was against someone that actually had really good armor on as well. And there you go. Our enemies are already fleeing. I don't think we even lost anyone. No. We lost no one whatsoever. I gained influence, I gained renown. Huge amount of it in actual fact. So there you go. And again, we only gained 300 gold from the vassals. I actually wonder whether the developers have changed the amount of money you gain from winning against vassals. Maybe it was a bit too much before. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. But we're going to let them go again. It might very well be the case that I might indeed need to take people prisoner and then ransom them if I want to see any money from, you know, that kind of thing at all. You know, it might very well be that that is the only way to get anything from it. Otherwise, are you serious? They made peace literally just as I was about to attack this guy? Can I try to persuade him? No, of course. Incurion is the leader of his clan. Okay, well, that's perfectly fine with me then, I suppose. Did they make peace just as I had taken a huge amount of their prisoners? Oh, I still have them. Oh, okay. I still have them as prisoners. That's actually pretty nice. So we're just going to be recruiting those, and we'll be upgrading some troops and so on. And let's have a look. Oh, declaring war on the Western Empire. Do we want to do that? Apparently we do. Apparently everyone wants to do this. I guess I will take this opportunity to get a decent amount of relation with Calatilde, and that's going to increase her relation with us by 9, which is, I think, pretty good. Oh yeah, that also reminds me, we do need to speak to Sylvind, don't we? So let's have a look and see whether Sylvind is... Yes, she's now available for messenger. Okay, fantastic. Ooh, look at all of what we have here. Oh, yes. Now, this is going to literally sell for, look at that, 3,000 almost. And then we're going to sell this armor. And look at the armor for 17,000. That is crazy. You know what I'm actually going to do, though? I'm actually just going to reset this real quick. And we're just going to let people upgrade themselves just before we do that, because you never know when someone has something worse than what you're going to sell. And as you can see, we do lose about 1,000 gold from that. But I think that is more than worth it. Absolutely more than worth it. Actually, wait a minute. am I just... I'm selling my weapon here, aren't I? I am selling my slashy pole hard, aren't I? Where is it? Oh, no, there it is. Don't know why it was replaced. Okay. Let me actually just take a quick look at this. I'm going to put this here. And let me see. This is pretty much better in every single way, with the exception of length. So should I just use a regular Vouge, I guess? God, it's kind of annoying, isn't it? It is kind of annoying. What about the length of these things? I quite like this weapon, so I'm gonna just lock this one. And we'll see how that goes. Using 2 pole arms is kind of confusing, shall we say. So it might not even work out too well for us in the end. But otherwise, there you go. There's 16,000. Thankfully, we're not selling slashy pole hard. Not yet, at least. And we have now declared war against the Western Empire as well. So the messenger at Sylvind should appear quite soon. Ah, there it is. Okay, fantastic. Just a couple of moments later, and we will try to persuade her. Okay, here we go. 92. Ooh, okay. Whew. I was, every single time I try one of these, it is extremely risky, because even though it's 92% chance, it can fail. And, once you're done, once you fail, that's it. You don't get another chance unless you install a mod that changes it to give you another chance. Okay, so Calatilda is the head of the family, and I will be sending a messenger over to her as well. And that is hopefully going to result in us being able to marry her, and then she can run around in our clan and be a general beast. And, just as much as Liena. Liena is probably the best wife, prospect that you can find in Vlandia. So if you are also playing in Vlandia, I recommend going with Liena. Just generally because she is better in terms of traits and in terms of a couple of skills potentially as well. But I wanted to do something a little bit different here than in the original series. I know someone actually mentioned that they don't mind if I go with Liena as well, but come on, I've got to have a little bit of variety sometimes in this series as well, because we are playing with Vlandia once again, so we do have to be a bit choosy here. Okay, so otherwise we're going to go for Calatilda and send a messenger to her. And we're going to see if I can maybe find a couple of people. Wait a minute. Is Faron actually... I think Faron might actually be persuadable. Let me see. He might very well... He's patrolling. So I don't think he's in... I don't think he's actually in an army at the moment, which would be fantastic. Final terms of our marriage. Okay, and let's have a look. Auto offer. One more. There we go. And that's it. Boom. Bruce married Sylvind. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so that means that she is now part of our clan. And that also means that we have to pay her party's wages if she is indeed running around as an independent party. So she might need to be disbanded. I'm not entirely sure whether she is actually doing that at the moment. But if she is, then I don't really mind. Yes, she is actually. Oh, that's pretty cool. That is actually pretty cool. Yeah, there's a huge amount of roles here as well. I basically haven't assigned any roles here at the moment, mainly because I don't really like it. I don't know why. I feel like the role system is a little bit bugged sometimes, because when I select a role and then click done and then go back to this screen, the role is not set for some reason. I don't know why that is, but I basically just leave it the way it is, because then I can level up in pretty much every single skill and I don't have to really determine it in any way. I know that it's probably inefficient for me to do it that way, but I kind of prefer it. So maybe it's just me. Oh dear. He is actually in an army by the looks of things. Yes, he is actually in an army. Did he just create one now? Yes, I think he did actually. Wow, bad timing on my part. Oh well, never mind. That will be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.